Good morning, good morning, good morning. What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Just Do Boxing in the building. What's up, man? Top of the morning to you, man. Yes, sir. What's up, Just Do? Good to see you, brother. Kentrell LeGrew in the building. What's going on, man? Kodak in the building. Ricky Williams, what's up? The beautiful Barbara D. Good morning. Thriller True to Life. What's up? Gabe Toss, what's going on, man? Mr. Mileage, Lee Jackson, what's up? Alden Johnson, what's happening? Thrill, what's that? Thrill True to Life. I said, what's up to you, man? But what's up again? Zulu Lion. Marcus T. Villain, good morning. Good morning. Flawless Mentality with Dr. Mark. What's going on, sir? How are you doing, doctor? Grand rising blessings to the God Fanon, my Chi-Town brother of Elevation fam, and God and the gods and goddesses of the always solid international boxing family. Yes, sir. Ray Patterson, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Let me get. I think I'm all the way. Chicken Saw Fontaine, what's going on? Yeah. All right. So we got 50 people in the building. Shout out to the 50 people in the building. Hope you guys are well this morning. I hope you had a beautiful day. You know, hope that your social media life is plentiful. You know what I mean? We have news in the sport of boxing. Teofimo Lopez is complaining that they're not promoting this fight between Shakur, Stevenson, and Teofimo Lopez. You also have Devin Haney, who cannot get a fight with either the IBF champion, who's named Lewis Crocker, nor Rolly Romero. So apparently there's no unification on the line for him. So therefore, he has to actually defend his title. He's not going to be able to get a weak Lewis Crocker. He's not going to be able to cherry pick Lewis Crocker. And it doesn't look like Eddie Hearn has the money to pay for Jaron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz. Do you know what that points to, people? That points to lack of funding. That points to lack of funding. That behavior, lack of funding. The only place Devin Haney can fight is in Saudi Arabia. That speaks to lack of funding in the United States. Because the one place I believe they're going to actually pay for their own fights is in Saudi Arabia. Points to you were on point. Devin can't fight because at this point he's starring in a drama. You think he was a soap opera the way he slaps and hugs. Like, I'm telling you, these guys are running out of money. They have a lot of pressure on them. So if I was you, I would not go signing with these guys. If you're young boxers, I would say, man, you guys should make sure that you stay as close to the traditional promoters as you possibly can get in the United States. Because Eddie Hearn is using the United States as a cash bucket. He's using it as a cash bucket. He's using it as somebody else's piggy bank. Troy Hutch says frivolous spending and the well is run dry. Yeah, because they intended for that well to run dry. But they didn't think it would get cut off the way that it got cut off. Kentrell LeGrew says, sign with the PBC. Errol Spence ain't fought in 2 years and on vacation every day. That's a negate. That's the guy I would think you would say has a lot of money, because he's the guy that doesn't have to fight. He's like, he fights and he's like, okay, I'm cool. I got a lot of money. I'm straight. Yes, sir, man. Oh, man, thank you, T-Bone Calcut. Zulu Lion in the building with the $5 holler. Thank you so much for your support, bro. I really appreciate it, man. You know, I appreciate all the support that you guys give the channel during the times when we're waiting for these big fights, man. There is news that there is a the PBC according to papers submitted, according to Boxing Scene, I think the source is Boxing Scene, or I heard it on Twitter, that for March, like March 21st, I think, the PBC is going to have a fight card March 21st. That's my birthday weekend, the weekend before my birthday, that they're going to have a fight card. So I'm excited about that, man. Who you think Wilder versus Usyk? How you think the Wilder Usyk fight turns out? I'm gonna pray that it turns out in a knockout for Deontay Wilder. That's how I want it to turn out, because I fucks with Alexander Usyk big time. You know what I mean? I fuck with Alexander Usyk big time. And Alexander Usyk is the man, bro. I just want Deontay to win the fight, and I want Deontay Wilder to give Alexander Usyk his hardest fight that he's ever had. That's what I want to see. I want to see an extremely sharp Deontay Wilder throwing extremely sharp right hands to the body, and you know what I mean? It's going to be a tough fight because Alexander Usyk's a monster, bro. You know what I mean? Alexander Usyk's a monster, bro. But, you know, I'm wishing the best for my guy, Deontay, man. I rock with Deontay. You know what I mean? My birthday is January 19th, MLK Day. Oh, that's what's up, Legal Grande. Is there an update on Thurman versus Fundora? That's the fight that I think is probably going to be on the weekend of like the third weekend in March. That's what I think, Jefe. If I had to guess what it would be, I would guess that it would be Fundora, the Thurman Fundora. Maybe if they get a Gervonta fight, give him a little tune-up, say, yeah, man, I'm going to get a little tune-up, pop, do what you got to do against somebody, maybe a Floyd Schofield real fast, and then, you know, get back in there with the big dogs. And on the undercard, they could have Thurman Fundora. I would hope. I hope they have a stack card like that. That'd be nice. Or, I mean, if they don't have stack card, hey, man, I'll take a fight a weekend. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's me. What's up, William Old School Art? How you feeling, bro? Yeah, man. But look, seriously, man, it points to all things. PBC is not out of money. No, PBC is not out of money because they don't waste a lot of money. Do you remember the Dimitri Bivol versus Canelo Alvarez promotion? I think Canelo Alvarez. What promotion was it when they had like a movie that they basically made that Dimitri Bivol was starring in? I mean, the production was so expensive on these videos that it was like they seemed like they only wanted to spend money on those videos to make those videos. Who do you guys have in the Shakur, Stevenson, and Teofimo Lopez fight? And let me look up this. Let me look up the undercard for this fight. Teofimo Lopez, Shakur, Stevenson. Also, they're taking a long time to announce cards now. All right, so Keyshawn Davis, Jermaine Ortiz, Shushu Carrington, and Carlos Castro. Wow, Carlos Adames versus Ammo Williams. Wow, they got Ammo Williams. They got Ammo Williams out there. That's impressive. You got Jarrell Miller versus Kingsley eBay. And then some people I don't know, Zayed Almayoff and Kevin Costello. This is Ring Magazine, Madison Square Garden, DAZN. This is not rehab season. So this is not rehab season. So Turkey didn't put no money down on this fight here. Or did he pay to be on a telephone call? I'm telling you, man, I think that shit is phony. Let me put this up for everybody to see. That's a good undercard, bro. I mess with this. I like that undercard. I'm confused. You're not confused. People initially said it's not Turkey's money, so how could Turkey be broke? It is a way to avoid having to explain everything when you say it. So you guys are the ones saying Turki Alashik is the king of the world. I'm saying Turki Alashik's broke. And I'm saying it's not Turki Alashik's money. Both. The reason why Turki Alashik doesn't have any money is because he's broke. But the money that he was spending was not his own. That's why he cannot continue to spend the money, because he's broke. Not in the sense that he personally doesn't have any money. I'm saying that he does not have any money to spend, right? Because that's what people meant when they said it's Turki's money. I find it interesting that you find that confusing at all. It seems to me to be quite obvious what that is. Can you put a 1 in the chat if you understand what I'm saying? If my explanation was simple enough for you, okay? People initially said it's not Turki's money. I'm saying it's not Turki's money because it's the public investment fund. So how could Turki be broke? By not having money. See, those are not. No, I didn't say it's funding. I said it ain't his money. You heard, look, you going to try to rephrase this shit in a million different fucking ways, bro. I'm not going to keep responding to it. You know full well what I just said. So please do not try to get me to answer, to agree with the statement that you made. I didn't say shit about his funding being cut short. He doesn't have the fucking funding. The money's not coming from him. Since the money's not coming from him, he's broke. It's not coincidental, dog, that they don't have the money all of a sudden. All right? They can't get why do you think they can't get the fights done? No, okay. You didn't know? Okay. I don't know, man. You seem to ask some real funny questions, bro. Fern, thank you, brother. I appreciate the $5 holler. It's greatly appreciated. But let me tell you, man, this is my personal theory. I have my own personal theory about the money that has been flowing into boxing. So linguistics, so you know what I'm saying. I'm going to explain it to you again. And I hope that you get it, okay? So therefore, if you listen, you may not have any more questions and you may not be confused. There is a narrative that is out there in the boxing world that Turki Alashik, who works for a department of entertainment in Saudi Arabia, has the backing of the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia. This Public Investment Fund supposedly has $900 billion, something like that. I don't know. A lot of money was supposed to be in this fund, $900 billion. Turki started investing in boxing, money from the PIF in boxing. That is the narrative that they're telling you. And the narrative that they're telling you, the story that I do not believe, this is me, I don't believe the story that the money comes from Turki Alashik being associated with Mohammed bin Salman and the Public Investment Fund. I don't believe it. I don't believe the money is really coming from there. I believe the money is coming from secretive investment firms, specifically the secretive investment fund that is working along with TKO. The specific investment funds that invested in, that wanted to buy the Terrence Crawford Errol Spence fight. They wanted to buy the whole fight. $20 million from a hedge fund, straight out of a hedge fund to Terrence Crawford. $20 million straight out of a hedge fund to Errol Spence. Do you know what I don't like? I don't like coincidences, because Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s financial advisor has testified, or is testifying, that he got $20 million out of a hedge fund for $20,000 cash and 4 expensive watches. So Floyd Mayweather Jr. has a hedge fund, has a relationship with a guy that can get $20 million out of a hedge fund, I do not think it is coincidence that the same $20 million number was given by Terrence Crawford when Terrence Crawford said that they had hedge funds that could pay Errol $20 million and Terrence $20 million. I remember the conversation very, very clearly because I said, if the hedge fund has $40 million, why in the world would they give it to Bud? Well, it must be because Bud has the connection to the hedge fund, right? So what I'm saying is, I believe that's the source of the money, the hedge funds. I do not believe they come out of the public investment fund of Saudi Arabia. I believe that maybe the money that is being purchased, the sports that are being purchased in Europe might be the PIF, or the investments that they're making inside of Saudi Arabia, most likely, that's the PIF. Because the public investment fund is the public investment fund for Saudi Arabia, not for the United States. I believe they're getting the money from the hedge funds. I do not believe they're getting the money from Saudi Arabia. I believe Saudi Arabia is paying for those little stickers that they put on the banner and say that they're paying the money. That's all I think Turki Alashik is doing. Turki Alashik is just the one saying he's spending the money. But it's not his money if it's to the PIF. Bro, let me tell you something, man. It's not, no, it is not from Turkey. You don't believe it because you don't know anything about it. It is not. How the fuck is the hedge fund from Turki Alashik? Why would Turki Alashik have a hedge fund in the United States that is located in Beverly Hills? Why? That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. No, he is a Saudi Arabian military personnel. That's what he is. He does not have personal funds in hedge funds because he personally is only worth a couple $1 million. If that, he's a government employee. He gets paid by the government. He also has a family there, but believe it or not everybody in Saudi Arabia is a zillionaire. Despite what you're trying to put, despite this nonsense you're trying to sell us. No, it's a hedge fund. Because the hedge fund is the hedge fund responsible for backing TKO. The hedge fund, there's also a hedge fund that was responsible for backing BLK Prime. So you're saying Turki Alashik is backing BLK Prime and Turki Alashik has secret hedge funds in the United States? And he's just lying about it being the PIF so he can buy it personally through these? Blue blood. Do you think I'm stupid? Blue blood? Do you think people are dumb and are just going to go with any type of direction you take any fucking conversation? Bro, you're trying to turn this conversation in a way from fuck Turki Alashik. No. Turki Alashik is fake. He's just fake. I don't care when he came over, what the circumstances are. You're trying to turn it into something like that with the statements that you're making. You're trying to direct it that way. You're trying to come up with a narrative. You are. I think it's Turkey that has the hedge funds. No, fuck Turkey. Turkey don't got no damn hedge funds. If he had the hedge funds, he would just say it's his own personal money. Hedge funds are people's personal money. And it's groups of people's personal money. Why would he say it's the PIF and Mohammed bin Salman if it's really that? It's him. That's a silly lie to tell. You guys try to take things in any direction that will save your ass. I swear. You guys will try to find some way to redefine anything to support your narrative. After we find out you're not telling us the truth, you find a way to adapt that for the facts, with the facts that we discovered, not you. And you try to still make it your narrative fit. You try to take the facts that we found, not you, and make those facts fit your narrative. That Turki Alashik is the money. Even if we found that he literally took it out of the pocket of another person's wallet, you would say, well, Turki was the one that took it from his wallet, so Turki did it. Like, get out of here, bro. So let me tell you, now you understand now. I was clear. You get the message. There's no need for you to ask me any more questions about it because you clearly understand what I'm saying is that Turki Alashik is not the one who owns the money. He is not. He is smoke and mirrors put there to mislead us and misdirect us and other people away from the sources of the money. The source of the money is very rich people who do not know that who did not know that you were taking their money and spending it on yourself. These very rich people did not know that you were taking $20 million out of hedge funds and buying yourself entire stores of Versace with their money, waving big stacks of cash in their face, buying jets in their face, when you know you do not have the money to do it, but you have the relationships where you can spend other people's money. Terrence Crawford is on videotape saying that he offered $20 million to Errol, $20 million for him because of a hedge fund. The New York Times said not the New York Times, the Business Insider, in a report Business Insider had on the finances of Floyd Mayweather Jr., talked about his current financial advisor being someone that got $20 million from a hedge fund. So Floyd has an advisor that can get you $20 million out of a hedge fund. Terrence Crawford says he got a $20 million offer out of a hedge fund for both him and Errol for a fight. You don't think it's Floyd Mayweather Jr. that is coming up with the money? It looks like the most likely person is Floyd, because Floyd has a connection with somebody that can get you $20 million out of a hedge fund with only $20,000 in cash and 3 or 4 expensive watches. Do I need to do any more investigative reporting about how Terrence Crawford is being sued because he did not give people money for one of these expensive watches that he got his hands on before he got a lot of money for a boxing match? The watch was supposed to be on his trunks. Come on, man. This stuff is in the news. Floyd said, I don't think PF money is being spent in America because remember, even Shakur was complaining about the money being different for the Zepeda fight. Yep, very true. Richie's testified in federal court that he delivered a Ferragamo bag containing $60,000 in cash to a powerful union boss in exchange for a $20 million investment in a hedge fund. $60,000. Thank you very much. And the guy's name is Richnitz. You think he only did that one time? You think he only did it one time? Dr. Clark, thank you for leaving, Dr. Clark. Thank you for leaving. That's not hating on Floyd of anybody. That's hating on Terrence? Is that hating on Terrence? That Terrence said that he got $20,000, that he could get $20 million? This says $20 million right here. Rich Nees, who is with Floyd, testified in federal court that he delivered a Ferragamo bag. Who the fuck runs around with Ferragamo bags? You niggas is always running around with some Ferragamo Versace bags. Handbag containing $60,000 in cash to a powerful union boss in exchange for $20 million investment in a hedge fund, of which $19 million went missing. Yeah. And I'm supposed to believe that it's Turki Alashik and I'm hating on him, huh? Is that what you call hating? Yeah, I'm hating on it, all right. Yeah, I'm hating, all right. I hate y'all, let me tell you, because you guys are a bunch of petty thieves and liars. Why are you concocting all this bullshit unless you're stealing money? The only reason to lie like this is because you're stealing money. That's the only reason you lie like this. It's right, and everybody in boxing probably knows this. That's the crazy thing. Probably all y'all know this in boxing. All y'all know that money wasn't good. That's why no money was offered to Danny Garcia. Have you ever noticed who didn't get any offers for this money? Gervonta's never got an offer. Errol never got an offer. Neither of the Charlos ever got offers. Neither of the Charlos ever got offers. Demetrius Andrade got some small little chump change. Why don't you offer? Why aren't these guys being offered a ton of money to fight? Huh? Come on, man. Come on, talk to me, man. Talk to me. I'm not hating on y'all. Y'all hating on me. Let's be honest. Y'all, I'm not hating on y'all. Y'all just hating on me. You wake up and I'm not giving shit a rest till you niggas is in jail. I'm going to give it a rest. I'm going to give it a rest when you niggas is in jail. That's when I'm going to give it a rest. When you in jail or somebody or somewhere else. What you want me to say, you suckers? You niggas got a scam going on. You got an otherworldly scam going on. And you attack other people that ain't doing shit just because you don't want them to stumble into your scam. You got one more question today, linguistics, and you can come back tomorrow. You can put it in the super chat or you can come back tomorrow. Got it? I'm not interested in you attempting to mislead this and not having enough courage to just say who you are and be a straight up guy. You know what I mean? Here's the facts of the matter as I see. You guys have been scamming for about 3 or 4 good years. Real hardcore, over the top ass scamming where the money was so big and so sweet that it kept spreading and you got more and more and more and more people into the scam. But at a certain point in time, the scam got so big that everybody can see it. You have to cover up this money in order to keep stealing this money through boxing because you're stealing the money through boxing. It doesn't matter what the hedge fund invests in. As soon as you get in a hedge fund, you can invest it and spend it wherever you want to spend it, right? Because it's a highly risky thing. But you can only start so many hedge funds with so much money in it and have to get rid of the money and never have to show an investment, a return on the investment. Because you start affecting money that is so big that you start really, the people whose money it is, notice it. Because you actually made them lose money. You've lost so much money that you actually got their attention. Like Jesus. And then you're cheating them. Not only are you stealing from them, you're cheating them. You're cheating them in gambling. You cheating them by because you're fixing boxing matches. You're fixing basketball games. You're fixing tennis matches. You know why we know this? Because there's RICOs on all of y'all. That was the first thing I did is get RICOs on you niggas for cheating. You guys cheat so much, it's so obvious. You got Aiden Ross out here switching $1 million bets. Oh, switch the $1 million bet because we know Terrence is winning. Bro, you're being so obvious with that shit. Baseball, because the money is so big, you guys have to spread it so much. You're buying to justify the amount of money that you have. You're literally passing money through stake into bots to blow up your publicity so you can explain why you're getting all this money that your record sales do not justify. As long as your record sales are huge, you can justify having all this money, mansions and all this shit you have. But guess what? Only people that can do that and justify that type of money are people who are movie stars. You guys got movie star money, bro. You guys are bragging about the new cars you're getting. You niggas is getting Lamborghinis and shit. How the fuck you pushing a Lamborghini, bro? There's no way that you're making that much money. You know what I mean? There's no way you're making that much money. You know what I mean? There's no way there's no way that you're gonna make that much money. Dude, you can't justify 5, 6 paid people on your live stream. You can't justify it. The IRS comes to see you. They're gonna say, how in the world can you afford this big studio? How can you afford a payroll with 5, 6 dudes different on? You can't. That's why how much is this echo chamber you buy that attacks Gervonta Davis? How much does that cost you? How much money do you spread around to girls to accuse them of things? I wonder how much cash you dropped off in a Ferragamo bag. What, $10,000, $15,000 in the lawyer's fees to get this girl to say this or get this dude to say that? Because you got so much money. And what happens when you get a lot of money? You get into a lot of mess. You don't understand. You can't flex like that, man. You can't give yourself $1,500 a day straight through YouTube, you idiot. What is wrong with you, bro? You trying to flex? Give a little nigga some money, and they got to show everybody they got more than everybody else. You got to put stacks of cash on your heads, all that. Come on, man. We know what's going on, bro, and you guys are all in on the scam. Y'all all in on the scam. The YouTube side of the scam for sure. You're not on the side of the scam where the hedge fund is. You're over here where you know these guys are paying you to say the shit that they're paying you to say. But you know damn well they're paying you more money than they should be, but you take it anyway. But over here, it's you guys stealing money out them hedge funds. You guys stealing money out of hedge funds and then trying to blame the money on Saudi Arabia and say, let's make some fights in Saudi Arabia. All we got to do is keep flying back and forth to Saudi Arabia and say the king did it, man. Got it? Scam. Scam. Y'all getting out here in the middle, blocking venues and shit. Dog, I don't give a shit what you say. I don't give a shit what you say. I don't care about you trying to get on the side of Tank. I don't care about you talking about nothing. I already said that there was a March 21st. There ain't nobody guaranteed to fight on that date. Nobody. All you did is take a date that Tom Brown of TGB set aside. That's the only information that was out there. Whether it's Gervonta Davis or not, who knows? But I'm quite sure you guys are going to want to make the perception that you're the one making the fight. Anyway, so yeah, man, we can talk about it, dog. We can talk about it. You're confused. If the money's not coming from him, how is he broke? Very easy. You don't have any money, so the money's not coming from you. You're broke, so the money ain't coming from you. All you got to do is flip your own question. I'm confused. If it's not his money, then how is he going broke? Boom. He's going broke because it's not his money. All you got to do is flip those, and you can answer your own question. You guys try to bend the narrative any way you can bend the narrative like a snake. That's why I say we speak snake. You guys are always trying to twist and turn. No, you guys talk too much. You had to explain why the fight with Errol and Errol didn't go away. Why would Terrence Crawford decide to not fight Errol Spence Jr. at that time, but to take a $6 million payday to fight on BLK Prime in Omaha, Nebraska, and stiff Errol Spence? Ain't that when you switch sides? Ain't that what he's talking about when he said, why did you switch sides? When all of a sudden you tried to break up his fight and financed another fight? Where'd you get the money from, man? I know where you got the money for that, from a hedge fund. Because BLK Prime is owned by a hedge fund. So a hedge fund is who paid Terrence Crawford. And the hedge fund is who paid Blue Blood to be an announcer and call a score on that fight, on that network. And it was a hedge fund that paid for the entire network and all of the people that were promoting it. A hedge fund. And after that didn't work, then came in Turki Alashik. And now you got another hedge fund. You guys sure got a lot of hedge funds for some niggas with no money. You niggas sure got a lot of hedge funds for somebody that didn't go to Princeton. You got more hedge funds than Harvard graduates. How in the world did all you niggas get so cool with financiers? Huh? When did you get the childhood? When did you guys turn into trust fund babies? When? Those are the people that got hedge funds. Trust fund babies. When did y'all turn into trust fund babies that have a bunch of trusts that you can put into hedge funds? When did you get all this free ass cash? How did you guys meet these people? Why in the world do they trust you with so much money? It's amazing to me. I know guys that have degrees from Harvard Law School, people that have degrees from Wharton School of Business that do not have the connections to as many hedge funds as you have. It's amazing. I'm talking about 4 or 5 hedge funds that I can name off the top of my head that you guys have access to capital from. And miraculously, why would you even need Turki Alashik if you have all that? If all you got to do is put $60,000 in a Ferragamo bag and now you get $20 million, you can do that shit every day of the week. You can do that every day of the week. What a job. All I got to do is get you to give me $60,000 so I can give it back to you and you can give me $20 million? Huh? That's a nice job if you can get it, Floyd. Man, you guys got some money. Man, y'all know some rich ass people. It's like you niggas must be the Pritzkers or something. You got more hedge funds than the Pritzkers do. Like, man, who are you fucking with? Seriously. To be able to give you access to that many hedge funds, that's gambling money. That's highly risky money that they're willing to lose. And you can get 20 million of it for giving them 60,000. Yeah, dog, but you expect me to believe that ain't working and spending other people's money? I don't spend my money, I spend other people's money. That's how you spending other people's money, homie. I know niggas with hedge funds. I do. I know a whole bunch of people with a lot. I know people with banks. How do you know all the people with the banks necessary to give you all this money? Oh, I know. Blame it on the little caps. Blame it on the little caps. All they are is the go-between, bro. I know whose money it is, boy. So you can try to act cool like, oh, well, we'll back up off Gervonta. If you just cut me a break, I'll back off Gervonta. Nah, don't back off Gervonta. Keep talking bad about Gervonta. Keep up doing the same shit you was doing before, bro. You niggas hit a lick. That's what you said. We hit a lick. You asked me about DAZN and ownership in DAZN and whether or not these people should ask for ownership in DAZN and blah, blah, blah. You niggas was negotiating for ownership in DAZN way back in 2019. I remember the phone conversations. Now you guys keep funneling all this money through DAZN, through hedge funds, losing billions and billions and billions of dollars. Because I guess you can get 20 million for 60,000, but how much can you get for 5 million? How much can you get for 10 million? If I give you $10 million, can you give me $2 billion out of that hedge fund? I got $10 million in cash. Can you give me $2 billion? Oh, I've got $20 million in cash. Can you give me a $9 billion deal with Paramount? Can the trust fund back? Can this guy hedge fund back the $9 billion over the next 7 years if we give you $100 million in cash this way? Huh? Is that where you get the $100 million for a fight? So you can pay the $100 million to these guys out, but you can get a $9 billion Paramount deal on the backside? I mean, is that what you guys are doing to these people's money? Nobody on this earth is worth $6 trillion, you lying sack of shit. Get out of here. He's worth six trillion. Saudi royal prince is not worth $6 trillion. Their economy isn't $6 trillion. Fuck out of here. And if he's $6 trillion, that's his money. Doesn't matter. He could have $500 trillion. Doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that that's his money that you're spending. You don't call up Teamsters with sacks of 2060. I'm going to guarantee you this. You're not getting. Bro, I'm not actually talking to you, bro. I'm not interested in what that shit is you saying. Get out. All right? I'm not interested in what you're saying at all. Not interested in them saying a thing at all, bro. Not interested in what you guys have to say at all. I'm going to tell you what you know is the truth. You're getting paid by some little minor league bullies that are downstream of a gigantic theft. And you're spending the money like a bunch of ignorant jackasses. And as a result of all your attempts to justify this money that you're getting, you gamble it away, you spend it exorbitantly, but you got to let everybody know how rich you are. Something that you're not supposed to do when you have a lot of money. But no, man, he's broke. Phoenix says in October, it was reported DAZN lost another 90 million plus. They lost 1.37 billion in the previous year. Yeah, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? It's almost like it's there to do nothing but pay out money to people. It's like you guys invested in a company who has endless funds that no matter what they do, they can always dump more money and more money and more money into it. They've already signed up and spent a lot of money on all kind of TV right deals, all kind of other stuff where you guys are moving this money around, bro. But anyway, you're busted. Anyway, you're busted. You're busted. And that shit's going to stop because it's an international crime. You can't get away with doing that shit. I'm sorry, bro. You guys are funding things with this too. You're funding militias with this. If these guys, let me tell you what they did with the $1.37 billion. They fund militant operations inside of other countries. Yes, they do. If the only reason that Mohammed bin Salman would be willing to lose that much money is if it was getting paid to fund a militia in somebody else's country, and they needed to find a way to fund a militia. So they got so much money, they funded a militia. And maybe that's the reason that the money's passing through to begin with, is that it is a way to fund spy intelligence activities that are not approved by Congress by expropriating money from these people's banks through trusts and hedge funds into and through to the people whose money this needs to get to, which is, I'm telling you, terrorist activity. And if it is anything related to that, you better believe the U.S. military is going to catch a scent of that. Because if they find out, and I mean the U.S. military, that you are funding through DAZN $1.37 billion losses in 1 year, if that money is going to fund activities that are anti-American, no, man, you're going to hear from the military too. No, man, this is very wide range. This is very wide ranging, man. It's very wide ranging, because if Floyd Mayweather Jr. can do it, somebody gave Floyd permission, or I'm sorry, Mr. Rayek, because I can't say Floyd did it. Mr. Rayek did it. Somebody gave him permission. If they're getting hedge funds, all these hedge funds, somebody is giving permission. Gabriel Cruz, I don't care, dog. You can fuck off. Gervonta Davis's name is not even in the fucking title, dog. You can complain all you want to do, bro. It's not going to get me off your ass. And I don't have to say pause. All right? I'm not getting off this topic. I don't care whether you believe it or not, because the people that know it's true know that I know it's true. And that is all that matters. You little peons in your Boxing Writers Association of America and your PR agents mean nothing to real decision makers. All you are is a way to try to distract the masses. And in this particular incident, you don't want to scare anybody into ratting on you. But I'm telling you already, you've already been ratted out. This is already known to people, and it is already causing the brakes to be hit on your ability to spend money in the United States of America. You're going to lose any money, you're going to go lose that shit over there. You're going to go lose some of Putin's money. Go jack Putin for $1.9 million, $1.9 billion. Go jack them for real for that. Don't come to the United States and try to jack us for that money, because that's what you're doing. You came over here to jack us for money, and you partnered with a bunch of sellouts that allowed you and got you into a system by which they were able to take advantage and introduce you and pour tons of money into this. Yeah, they brought you in. I remember when they brought you in. You guys just didn't think I'd figure your deal out. You guys did try to do a transatlantic takeover by taking over our money. You tried to come over here and rule and get money out of American trust funds, American hedge funds, claiming it was coming from somewhere else, while you spend that money to get Matchroom. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? I'm just wondering if that's why you have Matchroom USA in New York City, and why Floyd Mayweather Jr. bought a bunch of stuff in New York City and Bill Haney moved to New York City. It almost seems like y'all got a big ass scam going on out of New York City. And you got some Hollywood actors running around. Again, you got a bunch of Hollywood actors running around trying to sell it like showbiz. That dude is an actor for sure. And I don't even say that in any disrespect. The guy that got the big contract, all that money that DAZN is spending with him, bro, that dude is an actor, literally an actor. And at least he got off of it, and everybody now knows he's an actor. But it's nothing but a bunch of financial thieves and actors surrounding and trying to create a fucking mystique and pretty much just trying to rob the bank. That's what you're doing. You're trying to rob the bank, and you've been robbing the bank. And Floyd even says that he robs the bank. Rob the bank, rob the bank. You guys are robbing a bank, literally robbing a bank and working with people to rob a bank. That's what Ocean's 11 was. I've said it before. There's movies about that. They put a spectacle, which is a big boxing match, on at the time that these guys want to sneak into the vaults of Las Vegas and steal billions of dollars. All around, everybody being distracted by a boxing match. You guys are doing the same thing. You keep distracting us with a bunch of boxing matches and expropriating people's money every time. And you put it in a movie so that you can fucking rub it in people's faces. And also because you got to spend some of the money that you're getting from this shit. It's once you crack the egg on you dudes, everything spills out. You guys are playing with money in a lot of different areas, not just boxing, which is why it can be so big and significant in boxing. But boxing is a tertiary sport. You're not supposed to be making $100 million on a fight, 15, 16 fights a year where people are making $100 million, and 15, 16, 17 fights a year where you're spending $200 million a fight. Your gross spending of losing $200 million. What you did with the Canelo Alvarez, exactly like Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 8. They all did these fucking scams around events, stealing things. You guys are just thieves. You're fucking international financial thieves is what you are. And you got busted. And now the sources of the money are going to drying out. And not only that, your ass is getting toasted for it. And you know it, because now that you got caught, everybody knows who you are. And you can't do it without somebody pulling up on you with serious shit around them, talking about, give me my goddamn money. Yeah, bro. You got busted stealing from everybody. You guys, I mean, seriously, man. You go through people's security apparatuses, financial apparatuses. You get people give you opportunities. And as a result of them looking out for you and giving you an opportunity, you're not grateful for it, and you try to capitalize on it at their expense. The only reason you guys ever knew the money was there is because they gave you some. That's it. They gave you some. And since they gave you some, you were like, oh, shit, let's rob him. Since he gave you so much, let's rob him. That's how y'all do. Somebody gives you something, you want to rob them. Like, yeah. Hey man, you did a really great job. Let me give you $100 on a super chat. Let me give you $50. All of a sudden you want to steal from him. Like, oh yeah, man, if he can give me that much money, I wonder what he got in his bank account. That's what you do. Oh man, if they supported the PBC and invested all that money in them, imagine what we can get. Hey, let's steal it from them. And how do you know? Because the same guy that they gave the money to the first time was the guy that stole it the second time. He got his deal was over. His shit's over. They don't have to invest in him anymore because it's over. But he doesn't want it to be over. Kenny, I'm not interested in your shit. I'm not interested in your shit. I don't need a money trail. All I need to know is that the money is spent. That's all I need to know. All I need to know is the amount of the money and that the money was spent. That's all I need to know. I don't need a money trail. I don't need a money trail. You guys already told me what you're doing. You guys confess when Terrence Crawford said he had $20 million from a hedge fund for both him and Arrow. It is public record that BOK Prime is owned by a hedge fund. That's public record. It's also public record. I'll leave it alone. It's all public record. But you can leave me alone. I don't need for you to believe it. I don't need, and I want you guys to understand this when I'm talking to you. I don't need for you to believe me. It's not even important that you believe me. It's kind of like in real life, you know what I mean? Like if I have a gun under my chair and I tell you that I got a gun under my chair and you say you're a liar, you don't have a gun under your chair, trust me, it doesn't matter if you believe me or not that gun is under that chair. Because if you flex, I'm going to shoot you. Right? It doesn't matter if you believe me. If it's the truth, it doesn't matter if you believe me. You think too highly of yourself. You think too highly of yourself. It doesn't matter if you believe me. Just like when they had those RICOs, it didn't matter that you believe me when I said that there were RICOs coming. It didn't matter that you believe me or you didn't believe me when I said those RICOs were coming. You know why? Because those RICOs were coming. So it didn't matter if you believe me or not. And to compare that to the metaphor that I used, the RICO is the gun under my desk. I'm telling you I've got a RICO under my desk. I'm telling you I have a gun /RICO underneath my desk. I'm telling you I have it. I'm telling you I have RICOs under my desk. I'm telling you. So you guys didn't believe me then. Matter of fact, you told everybody, let me be correct with what you did. You told everybody not to believe me. You believe me. because you know it's true. You just don't want anybody else to believe me. That's why we call you guys liars. And when you scratch a lie, you find a thief. When you find a thief, you find out what was stolen. Very logical. Very, very logical. Okay? You guys are the ones that are stealing. So of course you're not going to want anybody to believe me. Let me repeat. You guys in the media, on these YouTube channels, in the boxing world, that are listening without a doubt, you are the people that are stealing. So it doesn't matter to me whether you believe me or not. Because all you want to do is make other people not believe that you're stealing the money that you're giving them. Right? Because they may not know you're stealing, that you are actually just stealing money. They think you're international financiers with all these brilliant ideas and ability to negotiate. They see your shirt and tie and they get convinced that you're doing something that is sophisticated because you have an office in a big building. That's the whole facade. I don't care if you believe me. Trust me, I've got something underneath my table for you, for sure. Got it? Do you understand? I'm not asking you these things. I'm telling you these things. When you say that you don't believe me, that is putting you in a position of authority vis-a-vis me, as if your belief means something to me. It does not. Not anything to me. Don't think you can put disbelief in my way. Your disbelief means nothing to me. Nothing. You are a liar and a thief. You can wear the suit and tie. You can have the big YouTube channel with all the viewers you bought. You can buy you got enough money to buy all these views. You got all the money you need to buy all your subscribers, and you can create this facade to everybody that sees you that you're some big time successful guy because of your talent. That's just a facade. That's just a facade. All you are is a petty thief. You're a petty thief. You are working in a big financing firm. You're still just a petty thief. You can be working for the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, snatching money from poor countries. You're still just a thief. You can be somebody over Greece during the time where they were in austerity, putting these financial barriers on people and extracting their money. You can be 100% a graduate from whatever you're still just a fucking thief. That's all you are, because you're taking something of somebody else's and you away from them without their permission. You're a bunch of thieves. You're a bunch of thieves. And let me help you with something. I asked for a super chat, and I know whose money it is, and I also know where the money is going. That's called an honest business transaction. You wouldn't know one if it bit you on the ass. If I say, supporting the super chat, and somebody does, they know that they're supporting it so I can keep talking, because it takes money to operate a YouTube channel. Got it? Also, it doesn't matter if I'm broke or not. You're still a thief and a liar, Floyd Mayweather. That's my opinion of you anyway. I don't know for sure. I don't know if I've got a paper trail other than seeing your stupid ass with $100,000 in raw cash, with your in debt ass. And I can tell you this: me and you, Floyd, we got something in common. We both got a lot of debt. We both got debt. You got debt, I got debt. You're not rich if you have debt. If you have debt, that means your ass is in debt. I don't care. You're not rich because you're $500 million in debt and you got $500 million worth of things sitting there that they're going to take from you. No, you don't own those things. You're just sitting in the middle of them. That's all you're doing. And you think you can pedal with enough little cutie pie little moves to keep yourself floating, Floyd, because your ass is in a big ass boat in the middle of the fucking ocean. And that shit's starting to spring leaks and you need to repair it. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Anyway, the gig is up, little man. You're so disrespectful of Muhammad Ali. It was only a matter of time before this shit happened to you, bro. Floyd, let me do this like you do. Like how you be looking. Like you like to rock back and forth like this. Bro, I'm just telling you, man. Your shit sprung a leak, bro. Your shit sprung a leak. Yo, you are not undefeated. You are not undefeated, bro. Once you go to jail, Negro, that means you took an L. Anyway, Floyd, you're not that smart, slick boy. You're not that slick, Floyd. You're not that slick, bro. So the Athletic linked Alashik to allegations of arbitrary distinctions and torture of individuals who criticize him on social media platforms. Yeah, because he's a bully. That's what he is. He's a bully. That's what he is. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if there may be some Saudi muscle in the United States that he thought he could use. I mean, that I wouldn't doubt. Maybe they thought because they can't do shit, that maybe if they got in bed with the Saudis in Israel, that maybe they could do some shit to help this United States beef that's going on. Because let me tell you something, boy. We run Detroit, nigga. We run Detroit, boy. We run Michigan, man. How you like that, little man? Anyway, I like Little Floyd, bro. I like Little Floyd. I like Little Floyd. Little Floyd was always a good little dude, Little Floyd. Little Floyd just got carried away. Little Floyd just let his ego get too big. He's spoiled. Somebody that also always got everything he ever wanted was Floyd. Floyd got everything he ever wanted. Yeah, he said he used to eat bologna and all that shit, but bro, get out of here, dog. Floyd always had people taking care of him because he was always in the gym because he was going to be a boxing star. He was a well-known, successful boxer locally when he was a little kid because his dad and his uncle was a world champ, bro. He was a golden boy of boxing just like Devin Haney is. He's just a better fighter than Devin is with more heart. However, he definitely has been around boxing and his family had been around boxing long enough to know exactly how the game was run and exactly how they stole money from Muhammad Ali to begin with. Because they are a bunch of sellouts is what they were. Whole bunch of boxers during that time were a bunch of sellouts. Double time and fed ass done, huh? What he done to you? I don't care what he done to me. I don't give a shit. He's stealing money. I don't care. I'm a U.S. citizen. Any thieves are bad for another U.S. citizen. Let me tell you how being a citizen works. If you know somebody's a thief and they're stealing from your neighbor, you have a duty to let them know that who it is that is stealing from them. Bro, shut up, dude. Dude, like I said, you're going too far, bro. Like I said, come back under another name. I said that Floyd Mayweather knew how they stole money from Muhammad Ali. I said from them, dumbass. Now, go away, wait a day, come back as somebody else, King. You want to try to punch holes in this shit that's going to get you put in jail. That's your job. And I'm telling you right now, you keep it up. You're going to be lucky if you get to jail. You get me? Let me be even more direct. You keep talking and you're not going to make it to jail. You get it? You remember when Terrence Crawford threatened David Benavidez, Jose Benavidez, and said, you better focus on your fight before you don't make it to your fight? You better focus on your fight before you don't make it to your fight. You better leave this shit alone before you don't make it to court. Okay? Because honestly, bro, don't nobody care about you. Don't nobody care enough about you, dog. If Victor Conte can go, you can go. Okay? If Maduro can get flipped, dog, that's a lesson to you. If Maduro can get flipped, that's a message to you. You're not that big. Get it? You got people around here snatching the president of Venezuela and about $17 trillion worth of oil production. 17 trillion. That's the move that somebody just put on Venezuela. And I told you before they did it that was what was going to happen. I don't care if you believe me. You can ask anybody in this chat that listens to me, and I know you listen. I said about Mohammed bin Salman that the United States doesn't need their mud. And how about we have enough influence to tell somebody to go get the money, to go get the oil from Venezuela? I said it on this chat. Less than 2 weeks later, they snatched the entire Venezuelan oil economy. The entire thing. And they're going to sell Venezuela's oil on the open market. Guess whose oil that was? That was Russia's oil. That was China's oil. So now Russia and China don't get its oil. They have to go to the U.S. There are people that don't like you stealing their money and are going to make life really hard on you because now, and I'm telling you, you can believe me or not. I told you they were going to do it, and they did it. I don't get why you don't want to believe me. I told you they were going to do the RICOs, and they did it. I don't know why you don't want to believe me. But it's crazy. I'm the only person in the world that can tell you exactly what's going to happen. It happened, but yet you still shouldn't believe me. Seriously, man. It's 6 RICOs, all related to what I said they were going to be about. All of them. And I said exactly what was going to happen to Venezuela and why it would happen to Venezuela. Because we don't need Saudi money. And if you guys are fucking around in the United States, the people whose money it is will stop buying your Saudi mud. I told you that. The people that I'm talking about will not buy your Saudi mud. They will go to Venezuela like they've been wanting to do and have been waiting for permission to do. They'll just go snatch that. And they snatched it. So all you niggas who I've never seen before and other YouTubers who can't find the truth you can't find the truth with a newspaper. Jesus. But you're in my chat trying to make people not believe me. Because your job is to make people not believe me. It's not that you don't believe me. You just want to sow doubt so that nobody comes looking for your thieving ass. But once again, it is my responsibility as a U.S. citizen to blow the whistle on this operation. It is my job as a U.S. citizen to whistle blow on you. That's why y'all don't like when I whistle, because I'm whistleblowing. Now, y'all want to play another game? Do you want to play another game of Martin says it and it will happen? You want to keep playing this game? I don't think you ever wanted to play this game. That's why you hide. That's why you hide behind so many layers of people, little man. That's why you hide and then you insult my father for sure. Yeah, you do. You spit in his face anytime you can, bro, because you're jealous. Anyway, so Turkey is broke. Is Turki Alashik going to continue to spend this money and claim responsibility for this money that's being spent? Inquiring minds want to know. Turki Alashik, I want to know. Are you going to continue to take responsibility for this money? Because Turki, if I was you, I would separate myself. My father is Robert Blackwell Jr. And you're leaving. My father's name is Robert Blackwell Sr. My father's name is Robert Blackwell Sr. That's my father. Why do you want to know, bro? You want to get me to go down a rabbit hole or something? No, let me tell you what you're going to do. You guys are going to go to jail, or you're going to go to your maker. One or the other. And those are the only two choices that you guys are going to get with these guys. Nah, it's okay. No background necessary, bro. You're going to stay lost. Here's the background. Turki Alashik is not the person who is spending the money that has been flowing through boxing. That is my personal hypothesis. The money that Turki Alashik is taking credit for spending is really money coming out of American hedge funds, which come from one wealthy source. One wealthy source that has so much money in their trust that people are also on that trust, and money is distributed to them through the trust. But certain trust administrators are what you call thieves. So the fund administrators take bribes like $60,000 in cash and a Ferragamo bag to release money from the trust fund into a hedge fund that they invest. Get it? You have people that are responsible for managing a very large trust fund, and the trust fund is so big that there are many administrators. So you can bribe the administrator to deposit money and invest money into a trust fund, into a hedge fund. That hedge fund money is the money that is being used to fund these operations. And it is not, and it is illegal, because you are bribing the administrators themselves. Get it? So what I'm saying is that it is an American pyramid scheme is what it is. It is a pyramid scheme where you're stealing money from somebody, investing it in a bunch of businesses, and having all the money funneled down. The more people you get to participate in it, the more money funnels down. And eventually it goes bust because the funding gets cut off. But that's all right because the money's already spent. You have no proof but a big mouth. You got that shit right. I got proof. Like I said, I don't care if you believe me. And you can't do shit to me, Turki. Hey, Turki, I got a big mouth. Do something about it. That's easy to say. I got a big mouth. Do something. Shut my mouth. Shut my mouth. Shut my mouth. You said I got a big mouth. I do got a big mouth, and I don't need the proof. We don't bother with proof that you think we bothering with proof. Bro, we know what you did. We know. We're not taking this shit to court. You think this shit's going to court? No. The only people going to court are the ones that are going to turn themselves in and snitch. I already told you what's going to happen. I told you about the RICOs happening. I told you about Venezuela happening, and I'm going to tell you this is going to happen. Y'all ain't going to court. You're not. If you go to court, it's because you snitched. We're not going to be submitting any proof to anybody. There's no need for it. We know it's our money. And who do I mean by that? I mean us. I literally mean us. We know you have the money. That's all we care about. The fact that you have the money in that amount means it's their money. They're the only people that have money like that. So what are you doing with it? It's like you have a dog in your house and you don't think the owner of that dog can recognize its dog. Brother, you don't have any money. You don't have any money. You don't have any money. So how did you get the money? You think we're stupid? You don't have any money. How did you get money? Anytime you got money, we know where the money comes from. Where did you get money, nigga? Who paid you $100 million? Oh, I got it because I got a sponsorship. A sponsorship through what company? You know what that's called? It's called a tax audit. I don't like to hear the word tax audit. I don't. But trust me, the audits are being done. So we already know where the money's coming from and where the money's going. The only question is, are we going to get the government officials that are involved in it? Are they going to be held responsible? And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're in the military, you're going to get held responsible. You absolutely are. If you are facilitating this stuff with the influence of the U.S. military, you are going to get dealt with. Seriously, you ever heard of entrapment? You think they didn't let all this shit go to just catch y'all? Beans Gambino, thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. There's supposed to be no B-side left behind. There was supposed to be no B-side left behind. Exactly. Nah, for real, man. I'm already telling you what's up. I'm not asking you guys. I'm telling you guys. All you guys that got that money in that big rush of money around the time Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder, and then you guys figured you guys started talking about all of that, bro. We also know some of our money is going to fund certain things in other countries, man. You see what I'm saying? Like, you literally have militias and things being funded off the money that you guys are pumping over there because you guys are doing business with warlords. So for all I know, dog, the money is going that way, not this way, right? So like I said, man, you guys are pumping a lot of money outside the country. Where are those money? Where's the money that is being taken from America and winds up in the UK and in Africa? What is that money being used for? What's the money being used for? Is it being used for Hamas? Is it being used for the Mossad? Is it being used? Who's it being used for? Since you guys are obviously in the intelligence business because you guys want to affect people's intelligence. Isn't that what intelligence is? The intelligence community? You're trying to affect people's intelligence. You are trying to tell them things, what not to believe and who to believe with your bot farms that you fund through illegal money, gambling money in the United States. Isn't that what the stake fund is about? About them pumping all this money over to India to bot farms and things like that to help assist you guys in your intelligence operations? When you're trying to blind people as to what's really going on so you can do what you want behind the scenes, like you talked to Terrence Crawford at the 7-Eleven with your little code speak. Yeah, man. If you're military, bro, you're going to get it. You are going to get for sure court-martialed. You're going to get court-martialed. You're going to get court-martialed at the least. And if it winds up that you're funding things, you're going to get shot. Clock. Because that's what they do to people responsible for treason in the military. Okay, there's a reason you guys think you're such tough guys. I'm going to break it down for you on this Friday, all the way to the ground. I do my investigation. I do my research. Yes, I do. I'm a political science major. And when I was in political science, That's what they taught us to think of. What is global politics? What is the relationship between entertainment and finance and war and in global politics, international law? I even took a class in international law, and I wrote a paper about the death penalty in international law. So look, man, I know that you guys are a bunch of intelligence operatives because you are trying to funnel this money to make things happen that you cannot get people to agree to if you are being honest. You are trying to do things like surround gold mines in Africa. You're doing all kind of little dirty work. You do stuff in Venezuela, snatching boats, moving drugs from Venezuela into the United States with the money, right? Take a little money, send it down to Venezuela, get some drugs, boat it over here. You know you got political connections to get it in, and you sell it. But then what happened? Whose money are you using on these drugs transactions? Is it the cash coming from these different things? Fanon, this is crazy. People don't get it. We have people in federal court telling about giving money to hedge funds. Yeah. Oh, I love it because they're snitching and they're going to live. You know what I mean? So if I was you, I would continue with your intelligence to understand, bro, the intelligence goes both ways. All right. You think you have spies. You can get all this inside information. You can find out where people live. You can find out what their kids' names are. You can find out what their grade point averages is. You can find out all this intelligence because you have connections to the intelligence community. The only problem is, bro, that there's levels of there's levels to the intelligence community, and there's levels of security within the community that you are bribing for this information, which is why I'm telling you there's military involved in this for sure. Absolutely. And I can say these things because ain't nothing going to happen to me because none of y'all can touch me with a 10-foot pole. And I mean that shit to the bottom of my heart, bro. You niggas are small fries. The reason I know this is because my security level is way beyond your security level. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I love it. So I figure I'll use what I got to destroy you. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. You all are involved in espionage from the U.S. government. Yes, you are. You are selling information for U.S. citizens. Yes, you are. When you retire from the military, you are taking private sector jobs and you're turning yourselves into spies for a foreign nation without registering as a foreign agent. Yep. Yes, you are. And it's all in boxing because boxing is global. Ain't that what you said? Isn't it an easy way to get people in and out of the country and a good way to have excuses for people to travel in and out of the country? Just like way back in the day, boxing matches used to be ways that all kind of criminals could come together. They would never do it anywhere near the city. They would do it like 30, 40 miles away from law enforcement so they could all get together. And guess what else they would do? They would have like a prince or a duke there as well. So that if the duke was there or the prince was there, they didn't have to worry about any policemen coming to arrest them because you had a prince there. And since the prince is there and you're doing business with the prince, then everything is good. And they were able to elude arrest for things that they otherwise would have been arrested for. That's one of the main reasons that there's so much money in boxing. Is because criminals come together for that event, spend a bunch of money, but also use it as a way to exchange ideas, to create relationships, international relationships. Boxers in particular were well known for traveling around the world and creating all kind of connections with kings and princes from other lands. It's not an unusual thing if you understand the history of boxing. It's really not. And if you understand how you guys are using boxing events as a way to facilitate your criminal enterprises, which is why I said the Ricos were coming. Because that's where you are. It's a boxing amount. I hate to break this to you. if you're at a boxing event, if you're at a boxing event, there's a lot of criminals there. If you're dealing with music, there's a lot of criminals there. Yeah, there is. And they usually go to jail unless there's somebody associated with them. They can't get arrested, like a foreign dignitary that they believe cannot be arrested, like Turki Alashik. Turki Alashik, I do not believe, can be arrested for normal things in the United States. And if he was responsible for any type of muscle activity going on, he can get out the country. So it's easy to blame him for things that you do here because he's not in the country. And you're always pointing to somebody that's outside the country, and you try to trick people into believing that international law applies when the fact of the matter is international law does not apply. And guess who just proved international law does not apply? Donald Trump, when he did me a huge favor by snatching Nicolas Maduro's ass out of there and snatching that money. I consider it as a personal favor, honestly. For real, I like being right. I didn't talk to Donald Trump, obviously, but I love being right. So he did it. I consider it a personal favor. Thank you very much. Because these guys are going to know that in the United States, bro, we'll come get you now. You know what I'm saying? We'll come get you. He got diplomatic immunity. I don't know if he does or not. Probably not. He might not. High grass, hide snakes. Exactly. High grass, hide snakes. Yep. But I love it. 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 Thriller to Life said he told y'all the Ricos were coming before they landed in court. Yep. Yep. Gangsta Trump. Thank you, Trump. I really appreciate that, Donald Trump. I really do. Somebody get Donald Trump a message, bro. Because I personally am a socialist. So not in my own personal finances. I don't mean that. Let me be clear. When I say I'm a socialist, I'm generally speaking not talking about my own money that is mine. Okay? I'm talking about all the money that everybody else has being able to be used for everybody's common good and social programs and things like that. I don't mean that as permission to expropriate money from people. Okay? So anyway, if these people who have a tremendous amount of money want to provide the money through a socialist government, I'm fine with that. They can provide everything through the government. That's their country. That does not, I'm not a socialist in the sense that I'm an American trying to get us off of capitalism and into socialism. No, I just believe that I love government programs. I do. I love government programs. And so, but they are there to help people in need. And I think that and I don't think we need to be at war and spending all our money on the military. I don't think we need to spend all that money in Israel. I don't think we need to spend all that money or even send arms to Saudi Arabia. I don't think we should have anything to do with any of that. I think that we can take care of the less fortunate if we're not always fighting other people's wars. And that's why I personally don't approve. I don't approve of the use of any of those funds for that reason. Government programs are needed for sure more than military. Yeah, but the military I include as a government program. I think that the military is a government program. We pay for the military and the military protects us. It's a government program. All of the military is a government program. Congress is a government program. The executive branch is a government program. The Supreme Court is a government program. They're paying them a function. It's a legal program and it's an executive program. It's a military program. They're still government programs. The government divided. First, you had to have a government. Then they decided what the government was going to be formed as. It's a welfare program for rich Ivy League kids for the most part, so they can make all these decisions and get paid on the back door. Yep, but there's a lot of theft. You're a goddamn idiot, bro. From your point of view, Cuba boxing more effective, or what do you say? I'm not going to get into that, bro. I'm not talking about that right now. All right? Trump just cut $10 billion in funding. Yeah, they're not going to keep funding. I believe in it. Now, I'm not saying they believe in it. But when you got all these people stealing from government programs, I mean, the programs get cut. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, when you are stealing out of the government programs, don't be surprised if the people say that's waste and they cut the money. Like, seriously, if there's a lot of waste in a government program, they're going to cut it. But the waste comes from the corruption, and the corruption comes from the thieves. I'm telling you. And it's a top-down type of thing. I know who the thieves are. The thieves are over there in New York City, concocting all that crap. But anyway, I'm up out of here, man. And who's more effective, the Cubans or the Soviets? Cubans. Cubans are better than the Soviets, in my personal opinion. You can't prove it. Not the smell as it's not true. What? You can't prove it. Not the same as it's not true. Oh, definitely. You can't prove it. It's not the same as it's not true. But look, here's the thing. I don't give a shit whether these people think whether or not they believe it or not. And proof, there's a standard of proof. Proof, you can't just say you have no proof. I have plenty of evidence for this. Called spinning patterns. I have plenty of evidence for it. Plenty of evidence for it. Plenty of evidence for it. Proof is a standard that you set. And me, I just need beyond the preponderance of evidence. Honestly, I think I got it beyond all reasonable doubt. I think I've already proved it beyond a reasonable doubt. I believe I proved it beyond a reasonable doubt. By the least, I proved it is by the preponderance of evidence. At the least, I got it by preponderance of evidence. Me, from the position I'm in, I know all I need to know. That's enough. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I know more than enough for me to firmly believe what I said is true. That you guys are just stealing money. Because you guys are a bunch of fucking thieves. You are. You're running a fucking Ponzi scheme. It's a Ponzi scheme. I don't believe you. I believe it's a Ponzi scheme. It makes no sense whatsoever that all that money's being spent with nobody having any idea how they're going to make any profit off of it. So no, the simple fact that you're dumping the money into the ocean tells me that you're trying to fucking steal money. You don't see people stick a funnel on a bank account, open it, and it just pours everywhere. Okay? No, there's no reason for the money to be spent. People are getting paid way more money than they deserve. You have all kind of shit pointing to the way. No, it's more than enough. You're getting that money out of a goddamn trust fund. That's it. You get the money out of the trust fund, and you're an administrator of the trust fund, and you know how to deal with the trust fund and get what you need. So you exaggerate your needs. They exaggerate their needs. And they funnel the money, and it's just stolen money. Anyway, man, I'm up out of here. Deuces. He said, Ben saying Floyd was broke. All right, man, I'm out. Deuces.